today we're gonna make a chocolate milkshake. It's going to be a healthy version of a milkshake using raw cacao powder and nibs, both of which come from the cacao tree. So in the cacao bean are these little nibs, and when you round them up, you get the powder. So to get the well-rounded flavor of chocolate, we're gonna be using both of them. Because it's unprocessed, it's straight from the tree, it's straight from the source, very pure. There's no sugar. It's not processed like a candy bar or like a chocolate bar. So we're also going to be using a protein powder that I really like. It's sprouted nuts and seeds. Coconut butter is a combination of coconut oil and meat. So here we have a coconut, and inside is the water, that liquid, that coconut juice. And then all around it is this white, beautiful flesh, and that flesh is the meat. So that's what this is a combination of. So you can get coconut butter anywhere, any type of health food store, you can order it online. And then what we're gonna do is combine that with water just to make a coconut milk, and that's our base. You can use anything for the base in this recipe. You can use almond milk, oat milk, regular milk, water, and then all you need is ice, a cup of ice, and any other little add-ins you want. You can add some fruit, or I like to use superfoods. This is maca, which is from the Andes. It's an adaptogen. So an adaptogen means that wherever you are energetically, it balances you. So say you're kind of high energy, you're feeling kind of anxious, it'll bring you down. If you're feeling kind of lethargic or tired, it'll bring you up. So it adapts to whatever you need. I love maca, I live by it. And it also just is very good for an even balance. There's no caffeine in it, it just evens you out. So it's very nice, I like it. And then I'm gonna use just a sprinkle of Himalayan sea salt. This is a mixture of salts from all over the world. You can just use the simple Himalayan pink sea salt or sea salt on its own, but don't use table salt. Table salt is very different than sea salt. And the last thing is we're gonna be using sweeteners. You can use banana if you like banana and you're not diabetic and you're not watching your sugar. Banana is a great mixture with this smoothie. Or you can use stevia, which is what we're going to be using, or agave nectar. And you can also use honey or maple syrup if you wanted to. But don't use any white processed sugar. We're trying to get off of that. That's the point. Let's get started. 8 ounces of very clean filtered water. And then you're going to add your coconut butter. So I'm going to do, this is coconut butter. It's coconut oil and coconut meat. So I'm just going to mix it in there. I'm gonna do like a little less than 2 tablespoons. It's got a great flavor. And then we're gonna go in for the cacao. So here is the raw cacao powder. We're gonna use 2 tablespoons of that. Super high in antioxidants, as we talked about. Cacao nibs. We'll use maybe 2 teaspoons. You don't need much. More about flavor. Then we wanna use the protein powder. So protein powder, it's going to keep us full for longer. Use about 2 tablespoons here. Our maca. You want to work your way up with maca. So at first, maybe just start with 1 teaspoon. And then once you start using it a little more often, you can go up with it. This is the sea salt. I'm just going to use a little pinch. Just a little pinch to add some flavor. And then for the sweetener, I'm going to use chocolate stevia, which we talked about, in its liquid concentrated form. This stuff is really concentrated, so I'm seriously going to use 2 drops of that, and then 2 drops of the vanilla stevia powder. Liquid. 1, 2. That's all you need. If you use too much, it gets really bitter. And then we're just going to add ice. Super simple. I like a lot of ice for consistency, and it makes it more like a milkshake. Okay, here we go, our finished product. So this consistency is really thick between the coconut milk, the coconut oil, the powders. It really came out to a beautiful consistency. If you want it more liquidy, you can add more water. If you want it more like this, almost like a pudding, add more ice and powders. Toppings like granola and goji berries and cacao on top. You have an amazing superfood snack.